Let's call the person who has taken the foundation steps to back the community and make the event possible. Please welcome Siddharth Verma, partner at Grayscale Ventures. He will be speaking on agent runtime. Let us all welcome Siddharth with a big round of applause.
Hi everyone. I just have 15 minutes today and I'm going to share two things with you. One is our thoughts on agent runtime and a report that we recently published. First of all, an introduction. I'm Sid, full name is Siddharth Verma. I'm a partner at Grayscale Ventures. We are the only pre-seed focused infrastructure fund in India. And we happen to be early supporters of this community, Magicball, since we started this 2.5 years ago. Yeah, over to the content. Cool. How many of you over here are technical, used to write code recently, now use agents to do that? Okay. I would say 70 to 80% of the people over here. Okay, I'll start here. How many of you are interested in knowing some problem spaces that you want to build for in, let's say, agent infrastructure, AI infrastructure? And how many of you have tried building an agent in the past? Okay, that's great, because my suggestion was to do that. For everyone else who hasn't tried building an agent, you should definitely do that. Go playfully build some agents, take them to production, and that's the only way you can figure out what needs to be built in infrastructure, because not everyone knows, and probably no one knows what's going to get built in application layer or infrastructure layer. So that's my one suggestion to you. And choose genuinely hard, interesting problems, because for you, particularly who's trying to build infrastructure products, the every country is the same. The world is flat today. It's not like you're competing locally. You're competing with a Stanford graduate, let's say Gemini, trying to build the same product in SF. And that's why I chase genuinely hard problems. Okay, so my talk is more about agent infrastructure and agent runtime. But before we do that, let me talk about how we define agents. For us, an agent is models plus instruction plus tools plus runtime. And that's why my focus today in the talk is around the runtime. How many of you would agree with this definition? Oh, very less. Okay, that's interesting to see. This is how, in our opinion, infrastructure for agents look like. This is what I presented the last time I was here in the event. There are multiple layers. We are still in the process of figuring out how this looks like. There's build layer, tooling layer, data layer, runtime layer. The build layer is what you see, essentially, like the agent builder built by OpenAI, prompt engineering and some observability, like Purvi mentioned earlier today in the morning. Some of our companies are more in the build layer. There's tooling layer, essentially, different tool calls, agent memory, ETL. Essentially, I won't bore you, but this is how an infrastructure for agent look like. Our opinion is this. As a software infrastructure, your abstraction is your product. I'll probably expand more than that. First of all, I'll talk about what an abstraction means. An abstraction is, or let's say a level of abstraction is how you abstract complexity away from infrastructure. How easy do you make it for your users to use your capabilities? So that's what I mean by abstraction. If we look at different levels of abstraction, this is how it looks like. There's agent harness. How many of you know about agent harness? Okay, very less. There's Claude Agent SDK. You should definitely give it a try. OpenAI came up with Agents SDK. That's harness. 2 years ago, the whole industry started building a lot of frameworks like LangChain, AutoGen, Crew, and we all know about it, I'm sure. That was a bit of low opinionated way of building your agents. Then these labs like Anthropic and OpenAI came up with harnesses, and many more startups are coming up with harnesses. These are extremely highly opinionated ways of building your agents. They're essentially frameworks plus batteries included. They have, I'll talk more about this, but they have skills and prompts and like file systems included as part of it. The lowest form of abstraction is agent runtime. where there's no opinion at all. You build some piece of technology that becomes fundamental to someone who's trying to build an agent, and there are many spaces, many, let's say, many segments of infrastructure that you need to stitch together in order to build the agent. But if you want to move fast, let's say you're building a startup, you would rather probably use an agent harness because you don't want to spend a lot of time building your infrastructure. You want to get the agent out in the open as soon as possible. In our opinion, agent harness is something that a lot of startups would use. Agent runtime is something a lot of enterprises would want to use. They don't want your opinions right now. They're trying to build agents. They have a lot of corner cases that they want to cover. They have a lot of scale, and they don't want something that's extremely inflexible, less customizable. They want to use agent runtime. So if you're going for enterprise agent infrastructure opportunity, runtime is something that you should take a look at. Though harnesses are a good way to get started with. Yeah, so I talked about software infrastructure. Your abstraction is your product. These are some levels of abstraction that we talked about. This is Anthropic's opinion. Their harness looks like this. It's a bunch of skills plus tools plus prompts plus file systems and some bits of hooks, for example, memory, that they've stitched together for you to build your agent as quickly as possible. In 10 minutes, you can build your agent using their agent SDK. So you should definitely give it a try. This is what a harness looks like. An agent runtime, essentially, let me talk about agent runtime. That's the topic today. For me, let's talk, if you really want to understand what a runtime would look like for an agent, it's good to start with differentiating how an agent is different from traditional software. A lot of developer infrastructure or software infrastructure that was built in the past was built for traditional software, and that will continue to exist. But what new elements do these agents or AI bring in is what new opportunities look like. Agents bring in latency. They are extremely unreliable. You have two different inputs, and say you give the same inputs twice, you get different output. And they're extremely non-deterministic. I've tried to expand on what it means when I say latency or reliability or non-determinism. Latency essentially is because as someone who's building this agent, you want to keep your users engaged. They can't wait for a long time for you to come back. So you can solve it by a few things that I'll come talk about later. Reliability, agents typically fail very silently. They don't give you an error that it didn't work out because it's a string that they're giving you as an output. An agent will tell you it worked. It successfully delivered what you wanted it to. So the failures over there look very, very different. So the reliability looks very different. Interesting thing about AI, these transformer models is that they're stochastic, non-deterministic. So you need to do a variety of things to solve for that as well. In our opinion, an agent is a distributed system with a probabilistic core. And this is how it's different from traditional software. And this is where most of the infrastructure opportunity actually arises from. Existing software infrastructure vendors will continue to build, but they might miss out on these opportunities that might be open right now for you. To solve some of these, I've tried to drill them further. Latency you can solve by parallelization, streaming, reliability by task queues and persistence, determinism by human in the loop. The hooks concept is very interesting in SDKs. By building tracing, like you can take a look at .md files everywhere, and the agents leave traces everywhere. So there are given definite opportunities on the runtime side, and my opinion is to go think about how agents are different from traditional software to look for runtime opportunities. Yeah, that's it on the agent runtime. If you are building anything on the runtime side or want to chat about, have some opinions on that, please reach out to us. Happy to talk about it. Yeah, my next 5 more minutes. My next talk is on this. We've recently created this report called Grayscale Infrastructure Index Report. essentially, as a infrastructure-focused investor, we maintain this report to figure out what's happening in the market, both public and private. And overall, this year's report says that AI is propelling infrastructure. Essentially, infrastructure companies are actually doing well because AI is here now. If you look at this chart, the yellow line is actually Grayscale Infrastructure Index, essentially public software and infrastructure companies. And this purple line is this SaaS. If you look from Feb onwards, this last year, SaaS is going down from early 2025. SaaS is going down, but if you look at infrastructure, it's actually going up. If you compare the yellow line to the purple line, and the reason is and if you look at it from a different perspective, they essentially get a premium on the same revenue, as high as there's a 20x difference on the multiple that they get compared to SaaS companies, software companies. The reason is growth. They're growing really, really fast. There are three reasons that they're growing really fast, and we'll try to cover them up here. The first is pricing model. They've moved away from seat-based pricing and now moving to consumption-based pricing. If you look on the right side, the green bars, they're all consumption-based pricing. They're growing extremely fast. And if you look at the orange ones, the left side, they're all still on seat subscription-based, growing very, very slow. And the multiple speaks for themselves. So first is pricing. The second is they're growing outside US as well. If you look at APAC, growing really, really fast. So multiple other economies outside US for them are growing fast, and hence infrastructure is being accelerated. The third reason is their own AI native products are being adopted by fast growing AI native companies like Glean or Cursor or Cloud Code, and they're using the similar infrastructure like Datadog. And that's another reason why their revenue is growing extremely fast. Three reasons: pricing, revenue outside US, and third is AI native workload. And that's the reason they're trading at a premium. Last thing, we also maintain this Grayscale top 50. These are top 50 infrastructure companies, private companies in India, segmented by their revenue, 1 to 10, 10 to 100, and over $100 million. If you see, there are close to 50 companies here who are doing more than $1 million in revenue. A lot of them are AI native, some of them building AI native products now. And infrastructure from India is actually growing now for the last 5 years. And this is our list of next 100 companies that we think are going to really do well. We've segmented it by infrastructure, tools, and test and data infrastructure. We're releasing it publicly today. Here's the QR code. I'll keep on this slide for 10 seconds if you want to scan this. You'll get access to, it's probably more than 100 pages. You'll know a lot more about software, infrastructure, application, what's happening globally in public markets and private markets. Okay, thank you so much.